9 at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Brantley Furniture.
Do you want to save money on your winter electric bill? When you're at home and awake, set your thermostat as low as is comfortable, but when you're asleep or out of the house, turn your thermostat back 10 to 15 degrees for 8 hours, and it'll save around 10% a year on your heating bills. A smart programmable thermostat can make it easy to set back your temperature. Brought to you by your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Hometown Energy working for you.
Dunks use tires and wheels, where the customer is always number one. So when life's throwing you a number two, just remember, Dunks Tires and Wheels, because we'll be here for you. We sell used custom wheels and tires and do plug and patch repair. We have all tread styles and sizes in stock. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and on call for emergencies. Call 270-963-6391. Dunks use tires and wheels, where the customer is always number one.
Dr. Carl Hinton provides a variety of surgeries and scopes at the Trigg County Hospital Surgery Center. Dr. Hinton is well known and loved in this area and provides years of experience in the following procedures: appendectomy, colonoscopy, EGD, gallbladder, skin lesions, tubal ligation, and more. Dr. Hinton is available for clinic appointments Monday and Thursday 1 to 5 and Fridays 8 to noon. His office is located in Suite D of the Medical Arts Building next to Trigg County Hospital. Call 270-522-2557. Close to home, close to your heart.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouthwatering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
Are you looking to shed those extra holiday pounds? Do you tend to gain pounds back after dietary loss? Dr. Raymond Quattro with Health First is board certified in weight loss medicine and has guided many patients through a successful weight loss and showed them how to keep the weight off. He has extensive experience in the use of new weight loss medication and is well versed in the science behind a successful weight loss program. Call 905-4084 to schedule a consultation. At Health First Community Health Center, your health is our first concern.
The time has come to make your nominations in the Best of Western Kentucky 2019. Nominate your favorite business in over 100 categories today at WPKYOnline.com. Nominations end January 26th.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tessa and Ty and Coffee Talk getting going, I guess, on a Friday. Ty, I'll tell you, this guy, he may be the only guy in the stadium louder than me in a football game.
Why don't I doubt that?
They're back in the gym now, too. They're getting ready. Already started weightlifting, deadlifting, fixing to be starting to run over some plays. My grandson's going to be a freshman this year, so.
We were just talking about that yesterday. I said, it's like football season is back.
Absolutely.
I love it. No, he's part of my crew, man. That's my football crew. We have a good time, but Donnie Adams is with us, and I'll tell you, he's the guy that, you know how, what is it on the Home Improvement back in the day? They'd always say, hey, Al. And he goes, that's okay. I got a guy who knows a guy. Well, that's that guy right there.
There you go.
Donnie Adams, that's the guy. Because, well, and I told him the other day, of course, the wind, he was supposed to be here the other day, and God bless him, he couldn't be here, but it was for a pretty good reason. Of course, we had all those big storms, and I told him, I was like, with all the winds coming and shingles blowing around and all that stuff, let's talk about roofs and what to do and, kind of maintenance on them and that sort of thing. Of course, this time of year, everything's cracking and blowing around. And exactly what can you do and what do you need somebody else for? And he's like, okay, yeah, we can do that. Well, then we had a huge storm, and now you're in Hoptown, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of tornado damage over around the college and around the high school, Tiebreaker Park, that area where our main concern right now is just getting the water out of the building, getting that insulation out so you don't get the mold inside your ceiling. Anytime an insulation gets wet, it's got to be removed.
It doesn't take long for that stuff to mold, does it?
No, and it won't dry out. We're not getting the heats and the temperatures and the winds and stuff like that. It's not like a towel that you can just hang up. You got to get that insulation out. And the quicker you get it out, the better off you are. You might just be able to replace the insulation and just paint the water stain versus having to cut the sheetrock out because of mold.
Yeah, now what are the odds that sheetrock is really going to dry out correctly, or it's just going to look like a paper bag you crumpled up and dunked in the water?
As long as you remove that insulation within the first couple of hours of it being wet, as soon as it stops raining to where you can and do it safely, it will dry out. The best thing to do is to take a flat tip screwdriver, and if you push on the sheetrock and it's real soft and the screwdriver goes through it, it's got to be changed out. If it does not enter, it just leaves like a little dent, then you're okay.
Oh, okay.
And once it gets soft is when it's got to go.
So there is, the good, the bad, and the really ugly version
Right,
of that.
absolutely.
It's not just a one and done kind of thing if you get anything on it.
Right, and people that rent need to notify the landlord immediately once a leak starts. Don't let it go, let it go, and let it go, and then now your landlord has to tear out a whole ceiling. You may have to be removed from the home while this is going on because of contamination, when, I could have fixed it 15 minutes and a little paint would have done the trick, So treat it like it's your own home. Even though you rent, just treat it like it's your own.
Even if it is your own and you're not renting, that does bring up a really good point, though. We could say, well, this is my house. I can do what I want to with it or whatever. I'll just see if it dries out and then we'll see. I just don't have the money to do it right now. Well, that could mean a $20 fix right now. And, this summer when it's 100 degrees up in that attic, now you've turned into several $100s worth of damage, right?
Right. And for the elderly, don't hesitate to call. We've got programs that we can work with you. If you're on a fixed income, disabled veterans, give us a call. We can absolutely 100% work with you in the beginning. If it comes down to having to tear out the whole house and remodel it, it's hard to work with that. But a service call, we can work with you on that. And the other thing to keep in mind is air quality. Even though it's leaking, but you're not seeing the leak, but it's leaking, your air quality, once you start getting these mold spores in your house, now you're paying to the doctors and the doctor bills for all these allergies and sicknesses, what you could have paid to fix your roof and breathe just fine. So, there's several things to think about when it comes to roofs and ceilings and roof leaks and water intrusion.
Well, when sometimes I know that people get backed up and it can take a little while. If they find mold, and don't get me wrong, I didn't mean to start on the sheetrock thing. We just got there first. But, when you've got those stains that are sitting there on the ceiling, or maybe they've crept down the wall, and they used to be yellow and now they're black because they continue to grow and grow and grow.
Right.
Can you just spray a little Lysol on it and be done?
Absolutely
you can't,
not.
right?
No way.
How do we at least stop it from continuing? Can we, what do we use on it?
There is several mold inhibitors. Walmart's even got some, about $15 a sprays on. But the main thing is you've got to get to it. If it's on the back side of that sheetrock and it's in a wall, it's got to come out. One side or the other has to come off to spray it. So there's really, the ceiling, you can remove the insulation and spray it from the top. But once you start seeing it on the bottom, that means it's all the way through it. So we can stop it from growing, but it won't get rid of it that way. You can clean it just like lime scale, and you need to know the difference between lime scale and mold. And there is tests, Lowe's, I think Walmart's even got a test where you just rub it on it and it can tell you what you've got. But if in doubt, tear it out. That's what I always say. Sheetrock's $8 a sheet.
When you look at it, just because the spot is in one spot, that does not mean that that's where that leak is. Because if water comes in around, a lot of times, what causes those leaks a lot? It doesn't necessarily have to be a bunch of shingles that are missing or a big chunk of roof that's off either. It can be, my experience, what I had one time was it was coming in around, we were just talking about that off air, it was coming in around the vents and around the vent coming out of the bathroom going through the ceiling. And when they switched to a new roof, they didn't change the
roof boots.
the boots that go with it. So I mean, what do you look for?
Well, when you're looking from the bottom up, you can see a lot of times you just lose the glue that holds the two shingles together. So in a high wind, it'll raise it up. When it raises the shingle up, it exposes the nail underneath and the joint underneath. So you can be getting that, and you don't even see the shingle missing, but it's during the wind. Then you've got your chimney caps. You've got brick, block, rock, stone. Any of the mortar joints can leak and cause water intrusion. You've got the boots you're talking about. You've also, if you've got stopped up downspouts, the water will build up inside the gutter. It can't get out. And it's either going to run into the eave of the house or it's going to run over the face of the gutter. But when it runs into the eave of the house, you see the stain at the wall, at the exterior wall.
Is that green stain that gets on your house?
A lot of times, yes. And usually on the north side of the house is where you'll get the green stain. And it's just like the north side of a tree molding, because that's where the moisture hits the side of the tree, and that's why you're supposed to be able to know which side of the tree the mold's on, which direction to walk in.
Okay.
But, there's several products to clean that off with, and it keeps that from happening. But a downspout is just like a sewer pipe. If you get a lot of leaves in your gutters and it stops up the downspout, you've got to rot it out or take it apart and clean it out, just like you do a sewer when it stops up, because it's going to overflow that water, just like in a bathroom or in a sink or in a bathtub. And you've got to be able to get that water away from the home.
Well, and when you're talking about windows and doors and all that good stuff, I mean, you can have water if it gets past the roof. Maybe say our roof is fine, but now it's coming down the wall, and like you said, now it's coming straight into the... Caulking is our friend, right? But that's not a forever fix. You got to go back and do that stuff every once in a while.
Right. You got to do the preventative maintenance every spring and every fall. I recommend walking around your house, looking at your windows, your doors, anything that you've hung on your home that requires a screw to be stuck into the side of that home. Over time, if it's a flagpole, if it's a shutter, if it's one of those nice decorations with your name on it, when the wind blows, it loosens that screw. When that screw loosens, now when water runs down the wall, it then goes inside that hole, and now you're getting water intrusion into the exterior wall, and you don't know what's going on in it. And now you've either got to tear out the outside or the inside to fix it. So weather stripping, if the weather stripping's not there, wind and rain can blow in through the weather stripping that's missing, thresholds.
Well, your caulking dries out after a while too, right?
It does, especially if you're standing in the store and you see a tube, it's $5, and you see a tube, it's 99 cents. 99 cents is going to crack before the end of the year. Oh. $5 may be pliable. It may be an elastomeric. It may be what they call a big stretch. And it's a name brand product, and it's probably going to last you a good year before you have to do anything with it. So the cheaper stuff is great, it's fine. You just have to do it more often. So if you're on a budget, a 99-cent caulk is just fine. Just get 2 tubes of it and then do it again, 3 or 4 months later, just check it, keep an eye on it.
That's a great way to look at it, though. You can get by with it. It's a good get by.
Right, absolutely.
Get by till we can get the right now versus forever, right?
Right, absolutely.
But because there is sometimes, like right now, I know you've got to be busy, and there's certain times a year when a lot of people are busy, and quick fixes. Sometimes we do need a Band-Aid on something until somebody can get there. And what if shingles do pop off our roof? What if, we've got a sheet of metal that's now flown off, because that's a pretty big chunk of metal when a sheet flies off. What do we do, just for a week or so or however long till you can get there and do something permanent? Maybe the materials have to be ordered. What can we do in the meantime?
Well, of course, you can put on a tarp. The main thing to remember on a tarp is it has to go over the top of the roof to the other side at least an inch or two, because if not, water just runs underneath the tarp. And then there's a product called Through the Roof. Cole Lumber carries it, Jornia Hardware carries it, and I think Faughn is carrying it again. It comes in a gallon bucket, and you just paint it over the affected area. It turns to rubber.
That's good stuff.
And it'll last 6 months to a year without anything on it. So if you call me and I have to put a patch on, most likely that's what I'm going to do until I can get there. So for about $38, you can buy this gallon, put it on there yourself, where a tarp will cost you $64 or $65 just for the tarp.
Well, and I'll tell you, sometimes that's, that'll get you through it. And sometimes it's the middle of winter, which may not be the best time to open up the roof and put on a new one.
Yes.
If it's not an emergency situation, weather can play into that as well.
Right, and you need to keep that in mind when you're trying to get on your roof, what that temperature is, what that weather's like. At the hard, like Monday when we was putting these tarps on these tornado damaged, you get a 40-mile-an-hour wind, now you've got a parachute.
Right.
You will be off the roof very quickly and very easily, and so it's sometimes it's worth it to pay the person that knows how to do it, that can use a series of ropes or safety measures like harnesses and things like that, so we can stay on the roof, do what we need to do, and protect your home and protect your air quality for your kids and yourself.
No joke. When I lived down in Texas, it's a true story. I really figured somebody It was a bad scenario. But during Hurricane Katrina, I look out my front window and I couldn't believe it. My daughter was little bitty then, and Abby kept pointing at something. I thought, what is she pointing at? We're hunkered down. It's Hurricane Katrina. There were people across the street cleaning out their gutters in the middle of the hurricane. I've got it on videotape because I couldn't believe it. But that's, don't do that. Don't go out into the worst weather. Do it when it's a day like, maybe we're having a day. It's not a perfect day. It's kind of cold, but it's better than waiting until the middle of the hurricane to do it, right?
Absolutely. And then, like where these tornadoes come through, you've got what we call widowmakers in the trees, these limbs that's already broken just sitting there. It doesn't take very much wind to have it fall out on you. So you need to be aware of your surroundings while you're trying to patch your roof.
Well, and there's electrical lines to some people's house, that come right in there around the eaves and that sort of thing too, right?
Right. You've got electrical, you've got telephone, you've got all these different wires running to your home, and sometimes it's hard to determine which wire is which. So don't think it's the cable vision line and get up there and touch it, because you just don't know.
Well, you and me and most people these days, we're not made out of money. We'd like to save a few dollars. But the roof is not necessarily a great place that's a good place to invest a little time and a little money and, do it the right way, because that can save the rest of the house.
Absolutely. It's just like your car. If the brakes are starting to go bad, that's where you need to invest the money to keep you and your family safe. Well, your home is where you go to every night. You get air quality, happiness, memories, your kids' safety, or sometimes your elderly parents' safety. It's not just your home. Think about your mom and dad's home, or that aunt that you've got that's elderly that can't get outside. We need to walk around their homes and take a look at, different things for them. And like I said, there's several programs. HUD's got a program that if a person can afford to do what they need to their home, there's different grants and different programs where it may not cost you anything. You just got to have to apply for them.
And while we're talking about the roof, too, the last time you were here, we talked about fire alarms and that sort of thing. Well, if for the same token, while you're up there checking out that roof, and how often do you recommend that somebody comes out and just walks around on your roof and checks everything out? How often do we need to do that?
I say every spring and every fall, because you got to clean out your gutters anyways. So while you're cleaning out your gutters, that's when you go ahead and inspect the roof at the same time. Inspect your valleys. The valley is a big place where everything's going to gather. And then that's where water will back up. That's where snow will sit. And that's where, it starts to leak. And then when you hit a valley, depending on how it's framed, it may leak completely across the other side of the house. You don't know where it's coming in at. But most likely it's in that valley. And then the backside of chimneys. If you don't have what's called a cricket built behind the chimney, then everything gathers behind that chimney. So that needs to be removed. Any debris that's sitting there has to be removed. And then while you're up there, you find out if your chimney's got a brick missing, or if the cap's off of it, or if a bird has built a nest in it. Because say it's a fireplace, you haven't used it all summer long. Well, now birds have made nests in it, and when you start your fire, now all that smoke and the carbon dioxide is back into the house.
Just because you haven't used it doesn't mean nobody else did.
Absolutely. It's a great home.
I'll tell you, the first time wasp and all kinds of little critters can get in there and if you've got your flue shut, you never know.
Absolutely.
So, get somebody up there to look at everything, and sometimes, there's other lines. Maybe you don't use it as a regular fireplace anymore. Sometimes there's actually lines run through there.
Yes, there's a lot of them, and a lot of the older homes have what they call tube and knob, and the little glass knobs that holds these older wires that you may not even know is there has broken off because it's just crystallizing, and so now you may potentially have a fire hazard if that doesn't get replaced.
So the bottom line is call somebody.
I would call somebody.
You're a good somebody.
Well, we've got a handyman service.
I'm just saying.
We'll call. It's a small fee, but it pays for the guys to come out, and we can walk around the house. We walk and look on top of the house. Sometimes we'll look underneath the house. You may not know you've got a drip under your house because it's not a major leak.
Right.
But then in the middle of the nights when that little drip turns into a break, now you went to sleep and now your whole house is flooded underneath it because you was asleep and had no idea you had a leak.
Right.
So it doesn't hurt to spend $50, $100 on a maintenance call for someone to look at everything. They'll check out your air filters. They'll check out your registers. The vents at the end of your house, that little square vent you see, it's what lets the air from the attic out. Well, birds will build nests in that. Bees will build stuff in it. The screen will come up missing. If the screen gets off, now birds are going into your attic. So now not only do you have that to worry about, but birds are kind of nasty in the attic. So you've got that air quality. I recommend a professional can look at a roof and tell you, okay, it doesn't have an adequate amount of air flow. So you may put a
And it can sweat
shingle
up there, too, and cause damage, right?
And if you put a 20-year shingle on a roof and it doesn't have airflow, like either a power vent or a whirlybirds or the flat top vents, that roof's going to last about 10 years because it's going to cook from the bottom side up because the air is not getting out of that attic. So, I mean, they're about $35, $40 plus an installation fee, but $100 may save you $5,000 for a roof because now you've got adequate airflow. Plus, the heat in the attics is not working against your air conditioning now in the house.
Right.
So your air unit's not running constantly. So basically, it pays for itself.
Well, and I've seen it sweat inside the walls because of that stuff, too. You know,
Right.
when you don't have the air circulation, it creeps right down into your walls. So now, the inside of your walls are sweating, and moisture, again, is bad.
And a lot of people don't know when they put these exhaust fans in their bathrooms, they don't exhaust it to the outside. Well, now you're blowing all that steam, and then your range hood, if it's not adequately exhausted to the outside, all that cooking steam and
I didn't think
smells
about
and
that.
grease, it's all going into the attic. So now you're introducing all this moist, warm air along with the hot air. So now you're starting to create that perfect time for
Now I
both
don't even want to
start.
go in my own attic. Thanks, Donnie.
Give us a holler, we'll go in there.
There's greasy birds up there. I'm not going up there. Squirrels and all kinds of
Okay.
mess. So
Squirrels
are you
are the
going to get
worst.
rid of my
Yeah.
squirrels and birds while you're up there?
I've got a good recipe for squirrel. Yes, we can.
Well, depending on where your stove's vented or not, he may already be greased up,
You may be halfway cooked.
Do the large owls, the birds of prey type plastic birds, do they help with those kind of intrusive pests?
It depends on who you talk to. Several say yes and several say no. I have about jumped out of an attic when I raised the door up and there was a fake snake on the inside because somebody said, oh, this is going to keep a bird out. Well, a lot of birds catch snakes, so now you're just attracting that bird because he thinks there's something to eat. There is different products. There's it's almost like a silicone product that you can put on ledges and stuff. It's real sticky. Birds hate it, so when they go with the light on it and then they feel it's real sticky, they'll fly away and never land there again. That keeps me safe. It keeps you safe.
Well, and it's a non-chemical kind of
Right,
way too.
right.
That's a natural deterrent.
And it's not an ant attractant. So this
Right.
other sticky stuff, the sugar waters and stuff that people are putting out, well, you're getting rid of the birds, but now you're causing ants. So you really need to pay attention to what you're putting out there. There is several products that sometimes they cost a little more. Sometimes it's easier. They got the little noise machines.
Yep.
I see all kinds of way people try to keep these predator things off of their homes. But you just check it out. Consumer Reports is a great place to go to find out if you're buying something that's a great idea or if you're buying something that works.
Well, I appreciate it. He's a great buddy to have. He's a wealth of knowledge, and we appreciate you coming in. Kind of focused on roofs today. So if they've got any questions and just want to ask her, or they say, you know what, this wind has really done a number on my roof. What's the phone number they can call?
Give us a call at 270-625-5940, or we've got Messenger and Facebook under Adams Contracting, part of the Better Business Bureau. We've got ads, T-shirt ads, stuff like that where we're sponsored. So if you can't find a way to get a hold of us, ask somebody, because somebody besides
I'll
you's
tell
probably-
them. Ask me.
Right.
Hey, well, and say hi to Carol. Last time you were here, I didn't say hi to Carol, and I felt bad about it later. So
Yeah, she was pretty mad. I won't tell you the things she said.
I don't want to know. I've sat at the games with her. Hey, again, Adams Contracting, and no joke, get somebody to look at it, whether it's your grandkid or it's Donnie over here. Get somebody to look at it, put eyeballs on it, and somebody knows what they're doing, right?
Absolutely. We can't save you. Only the bloodshed of Jesus Christ can save you, but we can help make your life here on earth a little bit better until it's time for you to go home.
Oh, I love that.
So just
That's
give us a holler.
That's a great place to stop right there. 833 and 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Nichelle Faughn is in the building. We're going to talk to the Caldwell County, George Coon Public Library here in just a few minutes in PKY.
Are you ready to watch the big game in Big Comfort? Enter the Herb Hayes Furniture Big Game Big Comfort giveaway at WPKYonline.com. Winner will be announced January 29th.
This is David Harden of You Ride in Princeton, and we want your business.
This is Christy.
And this is Casey.
And we'd love to help put you in a good pre-owned vehicle. We offer on-the-lot financing, too. Good credit or credit problems, we can help. U-Ride is a proud sponsor of the Sideline Report, heard every Thursday on your hometown radio station, WPKY 103.3 FM. Just ask David about the U-Ride deal of the week and take a test drive. U-Ride on the Marion Road in Princeton. Call 270-365-3018.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Imagine if there were a place you could go to buy gift certificates to some of the best businesses in town. Now, imagine all those great gift certificates priced 30, 35, 40%, and at times over 60% or more off retail every day of the week. The Loyal Listener Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes. We're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
The 2016 Toyota Tacoma Off-Road 4x4. One owner, NADA retail $31,150. Trice price $29,500.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or TriceHughes.com.
And here's your WPKY Weather Edge. Weather Center forecast a chance of showers today. Those gusts could reach up to 20 mile an hour as far as how stout they are. Watch out for those wind gusts today, high 40. Tonight, overnight showers, temps 47 and by 5 a.m. tomorrow. Of course, showers are going to be moving in early, heating up to the mid-50s by lunch tomorrow, then falling to 45 for the afternoon. Saturday night, mostly clear. Temps dropping again, low 22. And then on Sunday, high 31. It's 29, 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Penny Ryle District Health.
1580, 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk and 835 with Nichelle Faughn. How are you, lady?
Doing well. How are you all?
Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes.
I haven't seen her since it's been a new year.
I know. It's kind of hit us with a ton of bricks, but we're getting our feet on the ground and running.
I can't imagine. I had 3 people. Well, I started to say 3 little people in my house. They're not little anymore. They're monsters. But I've got, 3 kids, and I can't keep up with where all they're going. I don't know how you have as many as you have in your big house over there at George Coon and keep up with them.
Well, we had Polar Express the first Saturday in December, and we had over 130 kids come through with their parents. So that's like probably our biggest one, if not our biggest event of the year.
I heard that was amazing,
yes,
by the way.
So we got through with that, and we thought, oh, well, we can relax now. But then, like I said, January hit, and we're like, well, we got to start again. So we're trying to get everything planned and lined out and for the year. So already starting to plan some things for summer reading and go.
It's never too early for that, right?
Right, yeah. So we want to try to make it, if not bigger and better every year, different, so it changes up. And, of course, the theme changes every year for summer reading. But just so we have things to keep it fresh for the kids that are coming in, so they want to still come in and keep their interest up. So, yeah, we've already started thinking about that. This year, the theme is Imagine Your Story, and it's fantasy theme. So.
Oh,
nice.
I think that's so cool because you get to write your own story. Mm-hmm. Yes. That could go in so many different directions. That's so fun. Yes. Mm-hmm. So what all have you got going on with that already? Have you already got stuff planned out for that?
Well, we don't have everything nailed down yet. We're just starting to call and book performers and things like that. So it's not completely nailed down, but we're working on it. So
I think that's so much fun.
Yes. Yeah, but we do have some things from now. We have things planned from now until summer reading. I'll just go ahead and tell you some of the things we have left in January, which I can't believe that it's almost.
Oh, I can't either.
It's the middle of January, almost the end of January. So, of course, Ashley still has her story hour every Tuesday for the littles at 10 o'clock. And then we'll be having game night, which we have once a month. It's usually the fourth Monday of every month. So this month it'll be the 27th of January at 5 p.m. And that's just tabletop games. Come in. You can bring your own, or we have different board games and things, cards. So we just come in and have a good time. We usually have food. So that's always a big deal. Everybody likes
fun.
So yes. And then Ashley will have her crafternoons. She's changed the time for her crafternoons. We're open till 7 on Tuesdays. I think a lot of people still don't know that. So we're open till 7 on Tuesdays, and she's changed the time for crafternoons. It's always the last Tuesday of the month, and it used to be at 3:30. But we think, with school just getting out and then some other things happen on Tuesdays, she's moved it to 5. So crafternoons will be at 5 p.m. And so this month that'll be on the 28th.
And now that's for the big boys and girls.
No, that's for the littles.
Is that
it's for the, school, like primary elementary.
Right, gotcha.
Yes. And then Joni from the Extension Office, she's going to be coming back this year to do her recipe review at the library. She's going to be coming once a month, and so she will be there this month on the 29th from 10 to 1. So that's a Wednesday.
Popular.
Yes, people enjoy coming in, and she brings samples, so they enjoy that a lot. So that's through January. I'll go ahead and give some dates for February since we're almost there. February the 5th. At 3:30, Ashley has her teen advisory board, and that's where she has the group of teens that come in and they meet, and they kind of, they tell her, because at that age, well, of course, at any age, a kid is able to tell you what they like and want. But at that age, they're able to kind of help her plan and, events that they want to have, programs that they would be interested in. So she has that once a month where they meet and do that. And
that changes. What's cool to them now is not going to be cool to them in 2 months.
Right. So she has that every month. So this month February will be on the 5th at 3:30. On the 6th is her Hot Cocoa Club, and this is also for like primary elementary age kids. It's a book club, and they usually, read a book or talk about a book. They have hot cocoa, probably a snack, and that's at 3:30 on the 6th. On the 12th at 4 p.m., she's having a teen movie event, and I don't know if you all are aware of the books by Jenny Han, P.S. I Love You, P.S. I Still Love You. She is coming out. They came out with the first movie, and so this year in February they're coming out with the second to go along with the second book. So they're going to have a movie watch party for that on the 12th, the teens at 4 p.m.
Cool. That's another one that's going to be popular. I have a feeling.
Yes, I've read all of them. They're really good. So, on the 13th at 6, we have our craft night, which we have once a month, and it's the second Thursday of every month. So on the 13th, so right before Valentine's Day. And then on the 18th, the most probably popular adult event we have is trivia night. So our next trivia night will be the 18th at 6 p.m. Then on the 24th, we'll have game night again at 5. On the 25th will be the February crafternoons at 5 with Ashley. And then on the 27th at 3:30, she's having a teen paint party. So those are some of the February events. Yes, and our brochure for like January through, I know we're already into January, but our brochure for January through May will be in soon at the library, so people can stop by and pick it up. I'll be sure to get you all one so you have all the dates for that.
Through May?
Yes.
I don't see how you fit all that on one brochure.
That's
like poster board size, isn't it?
Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. We'll have the quilt show in April. Friends will be having their tasters luncheon.
See, I think that quilt show is going to be really cool too, because there's been a lot of changes to the big quilt show in our region, and I think that you may be getting a bunch of extras.
Yeah.
You never know.
That'll be good. Yeah, we had. We usually get around 60, so we just put them and drape them and display them as best we can, but it's always we always have a good turnout for that.
There's a lot of work that gets put into that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to mention at least the other biggie coming up for May?
Yes. So I was going to talk about Imagination Library. As you know, I've been here and talked about it before, but the Imagination Library is the program that was created by Dolly Parton, and we are fixing to celebrate our second birthday, so having it here in our community for 2 years, and that will be coming up in May. We now have almost 350 kids in our county that are receiving books each month. And just to remind everybody, so the Dollywood Foundation, they supply, a percentage of the funds for this program, and then our community provides the rest. And we've had phenomenal donations. We've received some grants from our community to support this program. And so just to remind everybody that it's $25 per child per year, our part that we have to supply. So if people are interested in donating, they can donate $25, and they know that one child is receiving books for the whole year. So they get one book a month. And this program is for kids 0 to 5. They will receive their last book the month they turn 5. And this is, this program is to help get families, parents reading to their children, letting them hear, this vocabulary, these words, to help get them more prepared before they go, they start school. These books have questions in the back, and they're all age appropriate. So as they age, the books change. So when they start as, littles, they'll be like the board books that, babies, that you get for babies to read to them. And then as they get older, they become, more like your picture books and more in-depth. And in the back, they have questions that the parents can talk with their kids and ask and get them, thinking not only about like what happens in the story and recalling information from the story, but also like problem-solving questions. Where do we see this? How can we fix this? What can we do if we encountered this in our life? And so it's really just, quality books, a quality program. I can't say enough about it, and I'm, so proud that we're able to have it here. But we are going to be celebrating, like I said, our second birthday, and we decided this year that we wanted to try to make this event bigger and better, and maybe to open it to some other organizations and things in our community. And we have that parking lot in the back of the library, and so what we're thinking is having kind of like a tent carnival fair kind of night, and we have it right now scheduled for May the 1st from 5 to 7, and we're going to be getting in touch with some businesses and organizations in the community to see if they want to participate. But I will, put it out there. We're hoping that this event, we're thinking of like organizations that, focus on this age of kids, or that support the families, young families, families with young children. But we are open it to anyone. We want to have it as just a fun family night event that they can come out to. And we're asking, if the booths will host like an activity. It doesn't really have to be a game or carnival game, but they could, some things maybe like face painting or a craft or something, but just something fun for the kids to go around and do, of course, and then they can, promote their organization. Of course, we'll be promoting the Imagination Library, and we're thinking of maybe having inflatables or
big fire trucks or something.
Yeah,
just something for the kids to come up with. But
well, when you think about that, Ty, that is 60 books over the course of 5 years for a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that can really open up their mind and let them know there's a whole world out there, that because sometimes your world can seem really small, if you're not in a big city and you don't travel a lot. You know, I didn't when I was a kid. And sometimes that can really open your eyes and make a kid pretty creative that, you know, might not be otherwise.
Very much so.
Well, academics, studies just show that if you're read to, if you're reading at that age, if you're with books from age 0 to 5, it just gives you a head start.
It does.
As you go into school and into formal learning. And I think that's the passion of Dolly Parton. Yeah, you know, I think the story is, I'm not sure, you may correct me on this, is that her father was not able to read. Was that correct?
He could not read.
He could not read. So she was inspired to, you know what, I'm gonna give back. And what an incredible program this is. Of course, slowly and surely, I think Lyon County has it now. I know it's been in Trigg County for several years, and it's a celebration now. This second year that we've had it here in our county. Fantastic job by the library, by our school system to get those that qualify for the program into it.
Yes.
And but there's still more that can be done.
Oh, yes. So, you know, as we add kids, like I said, we have almost 350 kids now that are registered and receiving those books. But there will be more. And so we have to sustain the program. And so we have to continually have, those funds coming in so that we can provide, continue to provide this program.
I wish my kids were little, because I can imagine, how excited they get and look forward to that new book coming.
And let me mention that this program, I think I've said it before, it's completely free to the families that, that register. And that was, Dolly's vision. She wanted it to be... She wanted to get these books in these kids' hands without, having to worrying about, or the parents worrying about affording to pay for them. So the program's free to all the registrants, and like I said, they'll receive a book a month.
And how is the registration taking place for our kids? I know there are the Hope and Cope Center, and through their schools, their respective schools, there's a sign-up sheet, I think, usually at the beginning of the year. How is the registration working in that process? Because we're going to be doing that at our party, too, I think.
Right. We've done several different things. Ashley, when she has gone out to the preschools, she's taken some brochures out there. We have had them, at different events that we host. We've taken them to the health department, the different preschools in our community, like We Care at First Baptist. So there are the brochures that go out and have the form on them, and they can just, drop them back by the library or mail them in, or you can actually get online and register that way as well.
Well, I know Dolly was big on that literacy should not be dependent upon how much money that there is or is not in the home.
Right. She, like Ty said, her father could not read, and she just, she had this vision. She said, or thought, if he could have, what more could he have done? What more of his life, in his life could he have done? So
I think that's awesome. I love that program. I love Dolly Parton, and I love that our community is done that for our kids as well. So.
What can we do if we want to participate in the birthday party? I know it's May, but what can we do if we want to, say, have a booth at our birthday party, or want to say, hey, I think I might fit in that category, or I want to do something for the Imagination Library?
Maybe they're expecting. They're a mom that's expecting, and the little one may not be here yet, but they want to go ahead and register now versus later. How does all that work?
Okay, so first for the event that we're having on May 1st, if there are exhibitors, organizations that want to set up a booth that night, I have a letter that's going to go out that has a little form, just to fill out so that we know how many booths we're going to have, kind of, to judge space and where to set everybody up. But they can contact me. My email is infaughn@gcplibrary.org, or call the library at 270-365-2884. And they can, request more information. Like I said, that letter's going to be going out. They will have more information as well. And then, in answer to your question, Tess, if they are expecting, they can go ahead and register. If they could register with their due date.
Right.
And then if that is not the day, which Typically, most of the time it's not.
Right.
But, if it's before or after, then they can go back online or they can let us know and they can change that, adjust that date to the correct date. So
that's fantastic.
Or, if they, as soon as the baby's born, then they can go ahead and sign up. I do want to mention that because of the time and the rotation schedule and things on how things are processed, that once a child is registered, it does take about 8 weeks to get through the system and receive their first book, just based on because they have a window of when they order books for that month.
Right.
And so just whenever it falls, so you may, if you got in right as the window was closing, you may have to wait till the next window.
That makes sense.
Just to be patient, but they will come.
Well,
so.
and that can just kind of become one of the things, maybe during the baby shower, that you get mom all signed up for it, and that way, within just a few weeks when the baby's here, then it's ready to go. So we just need to make that part of the just what you do to get ready for the baby.
That's right.
That's all.
That's right.
Right along with going and buying the crib, you have to fill out Imagination Library.
Yes.
It's a fantastic program, and to be in our second year here in this county and to see the participation, the enthusiasm by the whole community, because a lot of private donations are given. If you're out there listening and you say, I want to do that again, then just get in touch with Nichelle, because it's a good feeling to know that books are getting to our kids and they're getting a great start. And we want to get them in the hands of everybody that qualifies.
And we're so blessed in this community. It's such a giving community, and I'm just proud that the community just see the need for this program and gets behind it and supports it. And I have had so many parents to come up and say, our kids just love it. We love it. They love getting that book in the mail. They get so excited about it. Because kids love getting mail. Of course, as adults, we don't like it so much because it's usually bills. But, as a kid, you love getting mail. So they're excited. They say, when they open the mailbox and, it's there. So
I think that's awesome. Thank you so much for
You're
coming
very
in and telling us all
welcome.
about it. We're excited for you. And, of course, Nichelle Faughn, if they have any questions, give them that phone number again.
It is 270-365-2884.
Well, thank you so much for being with us.
You're very welcome.
Of course, from the George Coon Public Library right here in Princeton, and couldn't be prouder of them. They've always got things going on. And if you have any questions, make sure that you go out there. Get the kids a library card when they're, because about the time they're out of Imagination Library, that's about the time they need their card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
6 years old.
There we go. I ask her that about every time she's here, because I think that's so cool. It's like a rite of passage for a kid to get your library card. So I think that's pretty cool. That's how you know you're growing up, and mom can cry and you can get your card. It's a whole thing. Hey, 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
Did you know 7 out of 10 people overspent during the holidays and are now worried about recovering from this?
If you're one of the 7, don't worry, we can help at ABC Finance.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
And we can help you recover from the holidays with easy payments you can afford.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's, and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance.
All loans subject to normal credit approval.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
The 2016 Toyota Tacoma Off-Road 4x4. One owner, NADA retail $31,150. Trice price $29,500.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or TriceHughes.com.
And here's the WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. It's going to be breezy, slight chance of showers after lunch with a high near 40. Could see gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Showers overnight, temps rising to around 47 by tomorrow morning. Winds will kick up as well. Steady 20 miles per hour, gusts as high as 36. And then showers early ending, and it's going to warm up to the mid-50s by lunch, then fall to about 45 in the late afternoon hours. Winds staying with us, gusts as high as 38 miles per hour. Clear for tomorrow night, low 22, and then sunny for Sunday, a high 31. Outlook for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, sunshine and cold, high 27. That cold air really hits us Sunday night, as you can expect partly cloudy skies, low 13, wind chills in the single digits. Again for today, breezy, slight chance of showers after lunch, high near 40, and those gusty winds. Currently, it is 30 at WPKY.
This weather update brought to you by the Cat's Den, where everyone knows your name. Great food at great prices. Come see us. 4000 Farmersville Road, Princeton.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes. We're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
The 2016 Toyota Tacoma Off-Road 4x4. One owner, NADA retail $31,150. Trice price $29,500.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or TriceHughes.com.
Don't be left out in the cold this winter. Fortner Gas is ready to keep you warm. Fortner Gas is available 24/7 and will always take care of their customers when other companies leave people in the cold. Just contact Fortner Gas and schedule a propane delivery to your home or business. They want your business and will prove that to you. You can count on Fortner Gas in Princeton to